Good morning, everyone. Just waiting for Tracy to come on. There you are. Good morning.
Here I am. Morning.
How are you?
Yes, really good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah. Very good, thank you. Yes,
Good.
It's Friday, which is always good.
I know, this week just seems to have flown by. I don't know what's happened to
it. Well, you did your own webinar yesterday. How did that go?
It was really good. It was really good. We got lots of lovely feedback, questions, which is always fantastic. And yes, that probably is the reason my week's gone so quickly. It's just been a blur of getting ready, as it always is with these things.
Yeah. It is. That does happen. Oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super excited. I am not entirely sure why I was the one picked for this session, because I'm the least stylish out of everyone, but I can pick up the most tips. I don't know.
You look great. I think you look lovely.
I have lockdown hair. I've got roots everywhere. So just going to say a few highs. Lorna, hi. Amanda, hi. Diana, nice to see you, and Lynette as well, saying hi this morning. Great to have you all here.
Hi everybody.
So to start off with, and I think we're going to start quite quickly because I'm sure we're going to cover a lot today. Would you like to tell a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yes, I'd love to. Thank you. So yes, I'm Tracy. I'm a personal stylist. I've been a personal stylist for 12 years. And for the last 4 years, I have been focusing on taking my business online and learning about online, which actually was really good timing because we really needed it this year, haven't we? So yes, I've been doing a lot of online chats. I work mainly with professionals who need to look good for their business and meetings and stuff like that in different industries. And so yes, I've worked a lot with people in getting their online presence as much as important as their offline presence, which obviously this year has been super important.
Yeah, well, we've spoken before. You've been to one of our events where we've spoken about styling, and I've already taken some tips from that, especially with the colors, and we'll go into that a little bit later. So just I'm very excited that you're here.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very honoured to be here.
Thank you. So good morning, Stephanie. Caroline is here as well. I was going to see if we can put in some questions for men, but if there's only ladies watching, then we'll focus on the ladies maybe.
Yes, although I do focus mainly on women when I work one-to-one, but I'm very happy to talk about men's styling as well, cover it all.
So I want to start with one of my favorite questions that we've come up with, and I have my personal views on it. I'd really like to hear what you think. So we work with a lot of different venues and hotels and people who work in events, and everyone has their own brand.
Yes.
And it seems this year some people, when they're working from home, the standards of brand matching kind of, if you walk into a hotel, people have uniforms, or they wear a suit, or if they're working for a lifestyle brand, they wear something really funky, and they kind of, it goes with the environment. And then when people are working from home, suddenly they're in a hoodie and jeans and things like that. What would be your kind of view on that, and how to stay on brand? And is it important to stay on brand in 2020, or are we all just kind of, everything's out the window?
I think everything has gone out the window. Whether that's a good thing or not is another matter. And obviously for a reason. And as you say, if you walked into a hotel, everybody would be in uniform. So my personal opinion is, if you are doing something online and representing that brand, then yes, really, you should be representing them well. And probably I would imagine a lot of them have given guidelines on what they would like for people working from home. I mean, excuse me, if you're just working from home and having a meeting with colleagues, then that's a different thing, hoodie's fine. But if you're actually representing the brand in some way, I don't know, networking or meeting with clients or potential clients or or suppliers, whatever it is, then yes, personally, I do think it's a good idea to represent the brand well. That doesn't mean you have to wear a full suit, because obviously that is going a bit too far for online. But certainly if you've got a shirt with the logo on or something like that, then yes, I think it should be worn personally.
So if you would normally wear a suit, would you then say, just say a shirt, even if it doesn't have so you tone it down slightly?
I would, depending on what the meeting is and what the event is. If it's networking or just talking to, I don't know, suppliers, things like that, maybe, then yes, turn it down. If you're trying to win business in any way, then no, you need to wear the same as you would if you were in person, and that probably means a jacket. So it does depend an awful lot on what it is you're doing online. Networking, you want to be warm and friendly and welcoming, so probably a suit online is going to be a bit of a barrier, so I probably wouldn't do the suit for networking. I would make sure that you're wearing things that are, you know, make sure you're approachable and people are happy to talk to you in the same way as you would if you were in a room with people. But yes, if you're trying to win business in any way, or I can't think of the sort of things it might be, but you know, if you're representing a brand and you're trying to grow the business in some way, shape or form, then yes, probably you need to sort of do the suit thing the same as you would if you were doing it in person.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And you mentioned internal meetings, and you said it was okay to wear whatever you want, but is that always the case? Even does it depend on the meeting, or does it depend on who's in the meeting?
Yes, it would depend on who's in the meeting. I mean, if it's peers, you know, and you're just working together on a project, then absolutely fine. If you are having a meeting with leadership team, directors, you know, anything like that, then yes, you need to step it up a level, really, because what the message you're wanting to give is that you might be working for home, but you're still taking this seriously, you still respect the business, you still want them to know that you can do the job well and you're capable, you're efficient, you know, they can trust you. If you're sitting there in a hoodie, you know, a bit chilled, it's not quite giving the right message of, you know, I'm here to work, I'm still in work mode, I'm still going to do the job for you, you know, and that is really important, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what we've been saying is that you should treat a virtual meeting as an equivalent of how you would treat it if it wasn't virtual. So if you're going out on an appointment, you put the same type of preparation into it, or even more sometimes virtually, and you dress the same. It's the same importance as it would be, and I think sometimes that gets lost because you just, you know, you get up out of bed and you just kind of roll over and go into your office or into the kitchen, wherever you're working. So
yes, you do. I mean, you know, things are going to be more relaxed, there's no doubt about it. When we're sitting at a screen, you know, who of us is going to wear a pencil skirt and heels? We're just not, are we? We're going to be more comfortable.
Someone who's probably watching, and she also works for Helms Briscoe, who gets properly dressed for her work day every single day, and she did that even before lockdown, so we always work from home, we're used to it,
right? Yes.
Stress. And actually I was thinking about this morning, and because when I speak to her, I do always think, yes, she's, you know, I would always take what she says seriously. You know who you are, Diana. But I really think, yes, I actually, you know, she is taking it seriously, and she's getting dressed, and she's here, you know, fully
showing up
work,
fully.
And she hasn't just been out to do some shopping or do this or that. She's properly focused on work, and I do think you get that impression when people are dressed for work.
You do, and there's been a lot of studies done. I can't quote you any of them, but there has been a lot of studies done on the fact that if we and especially this was talked about a lot at the start of the first lockdown, because obviously people were suddenly thrown into this completely different way of working and not quite sure how to navigate it. But there's a lot of studies been done to say that if you get up, get dressed, put your makeup on, dress for work, go and sit at your office, wherever that may be in your home, doesn't have to be a separate office, but you've set aside some space where you're going to work, you're far more productive, and you're far more in the frame of mind of work. Work from home becomes difficult when the lines can be blurred. And actually, to be honest, I'm very bad at that. I've worked from home for years, and you know, I'm not good at stopping work at 6 o'clock and moving into home life. But you know, if you're used to doing that kind of work day, normal hours, then it's good to keep it that way. You know, to go to work at 9 o'clock, even if that's 5 minutes from your kitchen to your desk. and to dress for work, put your makeup on. Apart from anything else, if somebody suddenly says, oh, can you just jump on a quick Zoom, you're ready, you're good to go. You haven't got to suddenly think, oh my gosh, no, give me five minutes, I need to get dressed. So yes, I think it's a good idea to get up, get dressed, get into work mode, and then sit at your desk, work. And then the same applies at the end of the day, you know, to get away from your desk, perhaps change into your more comfortable clothes and switch off from work and go into home mode. I think it's it's much better for our mental well-being to have that separation than to just blur the lines and it keeps going indefinitely. It's not good for us. We should switch off at some point. There's a lovely question here. Should I still wear my slippers? Confession, I have my slippers on. It's a bit cold today. I wanted warm feet.
Well, I've had it once in the summer where I was wearing shorts, and they were kind of jean shorts, and I had a really nice top on, and then I realized halfway through a meeting with my client that my battery was running out, and I had to go and get it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to get up now, and he's gonna see me in my shorts. But he was wearing a hoodie, so I think it was okay. But yeah, you do have to, you know, you have to be prepared for anything, really.
You do, and actually, even you know, depends again what the meeting is. If you're wearing, you know, not the right things on the bottom half, make sure all your chargers are in place. You are not going to have to get up. I did know somebody in the summer who said she did an Instagram live, which I saw, and I said, oh, you looked amazing, loved your top, you look fantastic. She said, yes, I'd only got my bikini bottoms underneath, and I was like, oh my gosh, what had happened if he had to walk away for some reason? So yes, I would say be prepared.
Be prepared. So we have some lovely comments. Becky, yes, you better take, no, you don't have to take your dressing gown off for our team meeting because we're peers, so don't worry about that. Lynette says it's important, I think it's important to dress for work at home for Zoom meetings, plus it's so nice to actually get ready for work. It's the best feeling when we can't go anywhere. That's true. Yes. And Diana says, I think you speak as you are dressed. For example, you tend to sound more business-like in business wear. That's true. I
agree. I think something else that can help with that as well is and this would apply if you were in an office. I've actually got a standing desk. I'm not at it right now because I've got two screens going and I can only have room one for one. But my posture and my sort of attention are better when I'm standing. And I think that's a good thing to do as well. And you kind of, I don't know, you're just much more alert. You're not going to be tempted to slouch, which doesn't look so good. You know, you'll hold yourself better, and you know, especially presenting actually, because then you've got room for your lungs to get enough air in and all of that sort of stuff.
I think I'm going to give that a go. I've been thinking about that quite a bit, and I think standing when presenting is quite good, although I have seen presenters stand really far back and then the sound doesn't work and it looks really awkward, so that doesn't work.
No, you've got to get it right and play around with it until you're happy with what you see. And in fact, I still have I've got a laptop stand to lift my laptop up so that my camera's at eye level, so you know that sort of thing is still important as well, to make sure that your camera's at the right place.
Well, I've recently found out on Zoom that you can turn your own screen off so that you can't see yourself anymore, and I think that's really helpful, because otherwise you're constantly looking at, what do I look like? What do I look like?
Yes, you are, yeah. And actually it's really hard, but we must try and train our eyes on the camera as well, because just some of the time, not all of the time, because that's where you make that eye-to-eye contact and you get that connection, that feeling of connection, which is much more important with the work from home thing.
I think that's the most difficult thing with virtuals. I don't do that very often. I always tend to look at the person, because that's also so nice. You want to look at them.
Yes.
So just then about actual styling, if anyone has any questions, please put them in the comments. We had a question about makeup. So do you wear more or less makeup, or is it exactly the same as it is
in person?
In person.
Okay, so a basic rule which I apply to virtual, you know, meetings or virtual anything, is that the camera bleaches us out. So and I've worked, I'm a makeup artist as well. I've worked with brides, I've done bridal makeup, and it's really hard to get them to understand. They want to look really natural, but really natural in your photographs is going to look blank. bleached out, a bit pasty. So my advice on makeup for virtual meetings is to just do a little bit more, but you don't have to go over the top. It really is a matter of just giving yourself some colour to stop this bleached out look that we can get with the camera. So if you wear blusher, a little bit more blusher to give your cheeks some colour, a little bit of colour on your lips maybe, and some mascara to make your eyes stand out, because obviously we want people to focus on our eyes and make that eye to eye contact. So it's not a question of going mad. Really, you don't need to go the whole hog and do, you know, thousands more products than you would normally do, but just make sure you've got some color in your face, and because we're all attracted much more to people who look healthy and happy, you know, rather than somebody who looks a bit sort of worn out and tired. That's not the best look. So yeah, and if you don't normally wear any makeup,
that was my next question.
Okay, it's a very common question, because there are people who don't wear any makeup. It's a balance, because authenticity is really important. So you need to be you. On the other hand, if you could bring yourself to just wear a little bit of makeup just to give you a bit of color, even if that was just a little bit of lip color, that would just give you a little bit more of a healthy glow for your virtual meetings, and just makes you stand out a bit more, and you know, a little bit more attractive is not the right word, because that means something else, but you know, healthy to look at attention. Makes us drawn. That's the one I'm looking at. Drawn to people. Okay, so I hope that helps.
Yes, it does actually. So Amanda says standing desk, that's a great idea. Maybe I'll have to add it to my Christmas list.
Do you know, I love my standing desk, and I had no idea when I got it whether I was going to like it or not, or how long I'd be able to stand. Do you know, I can stand at my standing desk all day. By about 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm thinking, I think I'll sit down now. But I've been amazed at how comfortable it is to stand, and it's got to be much better for us in all sorts of ways. I got it because my legs were starting to ache from sitting so long when we had the first lockdown, and that's all we did all day. You know, I just sat at my laptop and worked, and so my legs were starting to really ache, and so actually standing made it a whole lot better. So I would recommend it. You can see my standing desk here.
Yes, I love it. Well, my husband has one and he never uses it, so I might steal his.
There you go, have a go. Well, that's a great way to give it a go, isn't it, and see whether you like it, because obviously not everybody's going to like it.
So Edwin, our one and only man on the call, I think, what do you recommend for men? So I don't know if that is relating to makeup or
I think it came to makeup. Yes,
makeup, I think.
If you're the kind of man who, you know, has never worn makeup and it's not something you want to start doing, then don't start doing it. Authenticity is so important. So, you know, you don't want to project this face that's just not you at all. On the other hand, if you're happy to wear a little bit of makeup, then yes, it will give you a little bit more color. Like we've said, I think some guys like to wear a bit of foundation to smooth out their skin, and perhaps a little bit of mascara to make their eyes stand out. That's absolutely fine. I don't know many guys who go for lipstick and stuff. I know there are some. You know, whatever you're comfortable with, really, anything that you use is going to just make you, you know, look much healthier, and people be drawn to looking at you, which is what you want. So yeah, that's my advice. Don't go doing it if it's not something you're comfortable with, because that will come through, and you people can tell when you're not comfortable with yourself. So you know, always make sure that you're comfortable with yourself and that you're authentic, and being yourself.
Yes. Okay, great. So I'd like to talk a bit about color.
Cool.
And I know you specialize in this topic, and I'm not sure how easy it is to do that without seeing the people and making recommendations.
That's okay. We can just talk about color in general.
Yeah. So I know that my colors are purple and mustard, and I'm sure that you were the person who told me that. And also, I think it was you who told me a bit about the color red, and to wear that when you're negotiating. Is that correct? Yeah,
that's a good one. Yes. Yes, that's color psychology. And color psychology is a great thing. This was what my webinar was about yesterday. That is going to be available, actually. I'm going to convert it into a course, so you know, it will be available if people want to know more. Great. But color psychology is how long have I got? I could talk for an hour on this, so I've got to condense it down. Color psychology is actually scientific and biological. So color is wavelengths of light. They hit our eyes. then that is converted to electrical impulses which go into the back of our brain and affect us psychologically. It actually hits our endocrine system. So this is a scientific thing. It's not just a woo-woo. There's lots of different theories and stuff around at the moment, aren't there? But this is actually scientific. So colours affect us and affect our moods and our emotions and our behaviours. So if we know about this, we can use it really effectively. So like you said, red is a great one. It boosts your blood pressure and your respiration rate, gives you so it will make you feel much more passionate, excited, and it will also get that message across to the people you're meeting with, that you're passionate, you're excited, you love your subject, and often that's what we want to portray, isn't it? That we're really excited about our subject.
Well, I never had any red in my wardrobe, and since that conversation we had, I have worn red.
Have you? Fantastic.
And you feel a little bit different, and people comment on that as well. They're like, "Oh, you're wearing red."
Yes.
So yeah, it does make a difference.
We've talked about networking. A great colour to wear for networking is orange. You've got a touch of orange in your jumper, haven't you? I can see. So orange is a very warm, welcoming colour. It's very energetic. It's a vibrant colour, and it's a very stimulating colour. So it will actually, in a networking situation, well, in any situation, because the colour applies no matter what you're doing, and whether you know it or not, it's still doing what it does. So it's a very stimulating colour, so it will encourage people to take action. So if you're at a networking meeting and you want people to take action as a result of meeting with you, orange is great, because if you want them to connect with you or sign up to something or go to a website or whatever, it will encourage them to do that. And in fact, in terms of call to action buttons on your website, if you use anything like that, never use red, because red also has the sort of danger, don't touch, that's what we sort of think of red, isn't it? You don't touch anything that's red because you don't know what's going to happen. So don't wear red as a call to action button. Don't use red as a call to action button. But orange is a great color to wear, because that's encouraging people to take action. So that's encouraging them to press that button, which is what you want them to do. Diana's wearing orange today. Great.
She normally wears red.
She says she wears red for presentations. Red is a great one for presentations. It gives you energy, it gives you confidence. It's a confidence boost. Another one that's really good for networking and presentations, presenting, is blue. Blue is the world's favorite color. Politicians, businesses, all sorts of people use blue in their branding and wear blue. And it's a color that conveys trust. So you feel very quickly that you can trust the
politicians.
Exactly. I did say that on my webinar yesterday. I said, I'm not going to get into the politics of whether we do trust them right now, but I had some Americans on the call as well, and it was like, okay, both sides of the Atlantic, this is a bit of a challenge right now. But yes, that's why politicians wear blue, because they want you to trust them and they want to communicate with you. So that's a good one to wear for networking or presenting. And aqua is the most trustworthy of all of the colours all together, never mind about just blues. So yeah, there's a few things there. Do you want me to say more? I could say some more.
But I don't know if there are any questions. There's lots of comments about people who are going to go shopping today. I don't think I have anything orange or aqua or blue in my, blue I have, but
do remember as well, when I'm mentioning a colour, there are various shades of every colour. So wear a shade of the colour that actually works for you, because obviously I deal with colour, as you've quite rightly said, and the most important thing is making sure that it looks good on you, that it lights you up, makes you look vibrant, healthy, all of that sort of thing. Some colours make you look very tired and very old. Black against my face is a killer. I look dreadful. I look 10 years older. So do sort of check that the colour actually suits you, and find a shade within that colour that works for you. So yeah, that's a really important point. Great. So we got questions.
No questions, just comments. Jill says she has quite a few blue dresses. That's great. So everyone trusts Jill.
Yes.
So just maybe finally, I mean, I have massive issues with lighting in my office that I keep going on about, because if the window is open, my whole screen goes dark, and my blind fell down, and then the light doesn't work.
Yes,
and it's terrible. Hard. So we kind of know most of the basics of how, you know, kind of top tips of what to do virtually, but do you have any other Zoom or equivalent kind of top tips that are quick wins if you go on a virtual appointment that really help?
Well, lighting is the most important thing. I've got my 2 lights on today to make sure I've got some light on my face.
Great.
Oh, thank you.
I don't have that.
No, I mean, if you can be in front of a window, that can help, but I am in front of a window. It's a grey day today, so it's not enough. So I've put my lights on. Top tips, make sure that you're well lit. Wear a colour that actually makes you stand out. You know, on the majority of group meetings that we end up on, no matter what the group is, you'll see a sea of black, greys and neutrals. So if you wear a colour, you're going to stand out. So that can be a good thing. You might not want to stand out. There are times when you won't want to stand out, but if you do, if you want people to know you're there and make a contribution, then wear a bright colour. Look at the camera. We've talked about that, really, really important. So make sure the camera is lifted up to your eye level. In terms of style, make sure that you're dressed appropriately for the meeting. So like you say, it's easy to wear hoodies at home, but is that appropriate for the meeting you're going to? You know, maybe at the start of the day, dress for the thing. This is what I do. At the start of the day, I dress for the thing that I need to be most dressed for, and then everything else is fine, unless you're going for a walk and you need to change into, you know, wellies and stuff. But yes, make sure that you colour that suits you. Red is okay if you like to wear a red lipstick, but make sure it's something that you're comfortable with. I mean, if you don't wear red very often and then you put it on for a Zoom meeting or a virtual meeting, if it's not you, you're going to be constantly looking at yourself thinking, oh gosh, I look a bit odd in that colour, you know. So make sure it's something that you're comfortable with, you don't mind seeing yourself in. I do recommend lipstick for ladies because it just adds a bit of colour to your face and makes you look happier. Does that help? Does that answer the question?
I think so, yeah.
Was there anything in particular she was asking about?
No,
lipstick?
just what are your thoughts on lipstick? So I think that's answered the question. And Lorna also says you can get a light that sits on top of your computer. Yes, I really need to sort my lighting out.
Yes. The only thing I would say is you can get a ring light. I teach a lot about looking good on video, so I've looked into this quite a lot. I actually bought one of those ring lights and Julie put it behind my laptop, as you do. I wear glasses. I notice you wear glasses as well. I had 2 rings, one in each lens. So I now have my lights on. I've got 2, one either side of me, so that they don't actually reflect on my lens, because otherwise you can't see people's eyes if there's a big reflection in them. So
Great. Okay. Well, half an hour goes really quickly.
I'm sure
we can talk lots more. So would you like to just share your contact details and how people can get in touch with you if they have any more questions, or if they want to do a consultation with you on their own colour and things that they should wear? Because I know it can be really important. You know, it can make a difference in business, what you wear. So
yes, it can. And I do colour from the 2 points of view. First of all, finding the colours that actually suit your skin tone, and then secondly, the colours for the message that you want to give and making sure that they're the right shade. So yes, if you want to get hold of me, shall I put it in the chat, or how do you want to do it?
Kate's going to put your link on Facebook.
Okay, so yes, my website is tracyjanehooper.com, and it sounds very simple, but my parents gave me awkward spelling, so Tracy without an E and Jane with a Y .com. So you can get hold of me. All of my stuff's on there. You can, you know, get in contact or see what I'm all about. I also have a free guide for you on colour and the different colours and the message they give. So I think you've got the link for that you're going to share with people as well. And then that will really help you with you know, colours for the right message for whatever meeting it is you're going to.
Okay, great. And then you're just Tracy Hooper on LinkedIn as well, if people want to find you on there.
I think I'm Tracy Jane Hooper on there as well.
Okay.
I think.
Great. So thank you so much for having us. Next week, we're back with another Savvy Says about rebuilding your confidence post-lockdown, as part of our Lockdown Savvy Says series. And we're also going to be announcing soon a new package that we're going to do at the end of the year, all about planning for 2021, and we're all going to hope 2021 is a better year than this year. And we're just going to share a bit of top tips on how to prepare yourself for that. It's going to be one of our famous challenges, so 5 days of challenges, and some drinks at the end as well, because you know it's December and we need to drink every day. Thank you so much, Tracy, and
That's all right.
we'll see everyone soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's been lovely to be here.